And what's up, everybody? We're back with the new season. It's season 4, first episode of season 4 of the Talking NASCAR podcast. It's not the Talking NASCAR podcast anymore. I'm still getting used to that. It's the Live Left podcast. Of course, with Hitmaster, as always.
Hello.
Back again for another round, another season. It should be a good one. Lots to go over, and we're going to be here mostly every week until November now, when the championship is decided in Phoenix. So should be a lot of fun. We're recording this a little earlier than I had hoped, because I have literally ran out of room on my list. I've reached the character limit on my list. There's so much news that has happened over the last couple of weeks, that I just wanted to get it out of the way, get it done, and anything has already been announced by the time this video comes out, we will talk about next episode. So don't worry. Because, as I say, we got a lot to talk about. A lot of silly season stuff happened. A lot of big shifts. A lot of rides have been filled in all 3 series. I also did get a new NASCAR game as well over the holiday break. So if we have time later, I'll review that. I might save that for next episode. I got another little diecast to share as well. So a lot of cool stuff there. And then, of course, with the new season upon us, we will preview this weekend's action at the Clash at Bowman Gray is here, or almost here, at least. We got some news to talk about before we get there, and then we'll talk about that. But anyway, let's just get right into it. I will quickly show off this little diecast before we start. I got this while antiquing quite a while ago now. It's been sitting on my desk forever. But I thought it was a good price, and I thought I'll pick it up.
Tabasco.
The Tabasco car, I believe, ran by Todd Bodine. Yes, Todd Bodine in the late 90s. These are a little hard to come by because of the fact that Tabasco was kind of a sponsorship that NASCAR would like to forget, because they were one of the scam sponsorships. And so, as such, there was a lot of restrictions, but I got one in the box, good condition. Actually, it's from 1998. Oh. I like the stats on the back here. It has like Todd Bodine's driver info and kind of a little story going on there, so you can read that. That's pretty cool. But yeah, I just want to show that off. Now we can get the actual news. There's a rumor going around. This is not confirmed. Well, it's half confirmed, half not confirmed, that NASCAR is considering using AI for its playoff stuff. My question is, why? Did they think that this would be the better route to go than just fixing the playoff system so that's not super luck based?
What's next? You're going to put AI drivers in it?
Right. Like, I don't know. Using AI, I don't even know how well that would work. You know,
I don't mind. I don't mind using AI like Bush Clash or the Daytona Duels. Doing AI and doing a random draw to see who gets that spot. But for playoff situation, for a person that gets a championship, heck, let's just say someone, Justin Allgaier, let's just say, he automatically gets into the playoffs without even winning a race. Just because the AI said, yep, you're in.
It'll be interesting to see if they do pursue anything with that. Right now, I mean, the NASCAR spokesperson did come out and say that it is something they are considering, though it is not something that they are fully implementing as of right now, at least. Who knows? With how the times are going, anything is possible at this point. So, definitely a serious consideration to take. Okay. Now let's get through some flurry of silly season stuff. Whew. Prepare yourselves. This is going to be a lot. First off, Zane Smith is going to the Front Row Racing 38 car in the Cup Series. Now he's going to be the new driver of that ride, taking over for Todd Gilliland. a little bit of an interesting choice, but I think there's some potential there for sure, seeing how he had some good runs, especially in the second half of the Cup season last year. One of the bigger controversies was Mike Wallace came out and said that he was going to come back and attempt the Daytona 500 in the 66 car. And then NASCAR came out and denied his opportunity to run in it, because he hadn't ran a super speedway in 10 fucking years.
But you're gonna let Juan Pablo Montoya drive a road course race?
Well, I mean, he does. It's been, well, yeah, no, true.
Yeah, don't even try to.
He's been, Juan Pablo Montoya's been gone longer than I thought he has.
That'd be like, having someone.
I mean, I guess he ran. Well, no, Juan Montoya had his IndyCar stint for a while, though he's been out of IndyCar for a while. So I guess maybe I don't know if they count that or not, but.
Right, but would you actually think that Mike Wallace would actually be able to get past the duels? Like,
unlikely, especially with the ride that he chose to go with.
I mean, Jimmy Johnson drives the 84 and still sucks.
This is true. There was some other news, though, with that 66 ride. Garrett Smithley is now going to be in that car, not for the Daytona 500, but for the Clash. He's going to attempt to run the Clash with that car, not the Daytona 500. Instead, Chandler Smith will run the Daytona 500 in that car. So that is definitely happening. So there will be a 66 car attempting to make the Daytona 500. It'll just not be piloted by Mike Wallace. It'll be piloted by Chandler Smith. Will that really affect the performance of the ride? Probably not. Maybe Chandler Smith can get in. I say he's got some potential, but not anything extraordinary.
Chandler Smith, I feel like would be he would be like a Trevor Bayne-ish kind of person. He'd get in and then, who knows, get close to winning, but not win. Even though Trevor Bayne was the one that won.
That is true. Well, we'll see. Anything is possible. Caesar, I'm gonna butcher this guy's name. Caesar's Bassarella. Will run the 45 car for the Xfinity race at Daytona. A new team was born as an Xfinity team as well. Cope Family Racing, obviously led by Derek Cope. They're going to have the 70 car throughout the season. Two separate drivers are going to split that ride. One's going to be Leland Honeyman and Thomas Annunziata. They will split the 70 car throughout the season for that team. So it'll be interesting to see how they perform. Maybe they'll win the Daytona 500 on a blown tire again. We'll see. Wouldn't that be a twist of funny fate?
Here comes Jordan down a low flat tire into the wall. The defending champion, but
got to
the wall.
We can only hope. That would be funny. Noah Gragson is going to Front Row Motorsports as well. He's taking the number 4 with him. Obviously, another Stewart-Haas driver that was now displaced of a ride has it, with Front Row taking over the number 4 car and Noah Gragson going there. Drew Blickensberg will be the crew chief.
Ooh.
That was announced.
Funny
name. Very funny name. Justin Bonsignor is going to go to the 19 car in the Xfinity Series for 5 races. So we know that ride has been shared by a lot of drivers last season and will continue to be the same, it looks like, this season. So it'll be interesting to see what he can do in that ride. Dean Thompson is going to be going full-time in the Xfinity Series with Sam Hunt Racing. So that's pretty cool. Corey Day will run ARCA Truck and Xfinity races for Hendrick Motorsports in 2025. So that'll be pretty interesting. Hopefully he can pull off some good runs like we've seen for him with the Truck Series. Anthony Alfredo is going to attempt the Daytona 500 with Beard Motorsports. He's also going to be running full-time in the 42 car in the Xfinity Series. Junior Motorsports number 9 car has a ride filled. Ross Chastain will be running 5 races with that car in the Xfinity Series, while Shane Van Gisbergen will run 4. Spire Motorsports and Rev Racing ended their partnership recently. Don't know what that will entail, but they ended their partnership. And another big rule that was changed is the Daytona 500 is going to have 41 cars for the first time in forever. And this is because there is now a guaranteed spot in the field for a special guest driver that will take effect at certain races this season, including the Daytona 500. And the spot, it seems like, will go to Elio Castroneves, who is attempting the Daytona 500 in the Project 91 car for Trackhouse. Very interesting there. I don't believe they've announced what other races this will take effect for, but it can expand the field to 41 cars for those respective races.
Does this mean Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson might race at the Rock?
That would be very funny, but I highly doubt it.
So you're saying there's a chance?
Well, there's always a chance. Always a chance. The damaged vehicle policy was also updated. Cars can now, once again, return from the garage back to the race if they were in a crash. It's been for a while now, that's been the rule, where if you were suffering in a crash and you went to the garage, you were done for no matter what. Now, under certain circumstances, the cars can come back to the track. I think there was a lot of controversy over this because of what happened at Talladega back in October, and so I think a lot of driver and fan uproar kind of drove this to be. And I think this will be especially beneficial at the super speedway tracks. I don't see this being a huge deal at the other tracks, but the super speedways for sure, I think we'll see some, you could call it benefit, I don't know. Back before this was a whole thing, I think the good thing is that you don't have cars that are so beat up, putzing around at 80 miles an hour around the track, and it's right. Everybody's all wrecked and there's no competition at the front anymore. But also, it will help for, points and playoffs and all that kind of stuff as well. So, it could be very interesting. How this is received, I think a lot of fans are happy about it, but we'll see what happens with how many instances it will be needed, per se. The CW broadcast booth for the Xfinity Series was announced as well. The 3 people that will be in the booth: Adam Alexander, yes. Jamie McMurray, why? And Parker Kligerman, I like Adam Alexander as a broadcaster. I think he's really good. Jamie McMurray's an interesting broadcast choice.
I mean, would you rather him be on the Cup one?
Maybe. I don't know. Parker Kligerman, I think, will be good. He was a good pit reporter. So I think he'll be good. Derek Finley is going to be the crew chief for Ryan Preece this year. That was also announced. Josh Bilicki is going to the 91 car in the Xfinity Series. Cody Ware is returning to the Cup Series full-time in the 51 car for his own team. No, it's Cody Ware. Martin Truex Jr.'s ride for the Daytona 500 was finally announced. He's going to be running with Tricon, who's going to be going up and helping him in Cup. And he's going to be driving the 56 car. Throwback to his days at Michael Waltrip Racing. And Bass Pro Shops is going to sponsor him, which is nice. So, that'll be pretty cool. I guess speaking about Martin Truex, sad news, his father, Martin Truex Sr., passed away about a week ago at age 66. Rest in peace.
You know what would be special? What would be special is to see Martin Truex Jr. win that Daytona 500.
That would be pretty awesome. I'd be rooting for him. I'll be rooting for him.
Martin Truex Jr. is a great racer, no matter what people say about him. My grandparents hated him. I think it was with the issues between his ex and stuff like that. But either way, he's a good racer. You know, he deserves a Hall of Fame, even though he didn't win the championship. Well, no, wait. I'm dumb. He did win a championship. Idiot.
We here at Pringleson and Company do not do background checks as far as our podcast partners' knowledge. So please donate to the cause so we can do background checks in the future.
Please donate to GarryIsAnIdiot.com.
This new NASCAR channel that was announced is going to be debuting on Tubi, which is a streaming service led by Fox. Actually, by the time this video comes out, it will have already launched. It debuted 2 days ago. But I can't say how it is because we haven't watched it yet because it's still a couple of days out. We'll review it next time, guys. It's a free streaming service. I think it's going to be free at least. If it's not free, I'm not going to fucking buy it. I don't give a shit. But if it is free, stay tuned.
I don't even want to watch Amazon races.
The option tires are going to return at Phoenix in the spring. Not the championship race, but in the spring. I'd like to see them in the championship race. I think that would spice some things up, but I highly doubt they're going to do that. But they will return at Phoenix. So that is cool. It'll be interesting to see how that can shake up the race. We got some news. Actually, no, we'll talk about that in a little bit. Rookie stripes are gone. No more. Rookies won't have rookie stripes. My question is why? What hindrance did they have on anything?
Rookies, they said, and this is what really ticked me off, because I looked at that, and they said the main reason why they're not going to have rookie stripes is because they're already at the high level of racing.
But they're still rookies, like...
It's still their first season. It doesn't matter if they're in the higher ranks. Technically, even though Jolson Allgaier has been in the Xfinity Series for so long, he should get a rookie stripe when he gets the Cup. But we not anymore.
I don't know who made that decision, but they're stupid.
NASCAR's going downhill, that's all I'm saying.
And Connor Zilic, speaking of a Cup debut, Connor Zilic is going to be making his Cup debut at Trackhouse. The 87 car is back. He's going to run the 87 car at Circuit of the Americas. And here's a huge news. Red Bull is going to sponsor. Red Bull is back for the first time since 2011. They will be back as a sponsor. on the 87 car. That is going to be a beautiful looking car, and I am very excited to see it on the track. That is going to be amazing.
Though I was really hoping the paint schemes for those cars were going to have red, just like F1. I was waiting for that, not white on the numbers. But still, I love Red Bull. Red Bull's my favorite energy drink next to Monster. But
Pretty sweet. It's pretty sweet. But if that news wasn't good enough for you, how about this? Casey Kane's back, baby. He's going to be running the 33 car for the Xfinity Series at Rockingham, a track that he almost won at in his first season. In the last time the Cup Series was there, he almost won. Remember that. And he's going to be back to try and win there again. Buchanan's first race in Cup since actually at all since 2018. He's been running Xfinity, by the way, not Cup. So that'll be interesting. I'm very excited to see Kane back. I hope he puts on a good show. It's pretty sweet. See him in March, I guess. I got a few other things that are a little more important. The last piece of driver news is a pretty big one, and it's been rumored for a while. Justin Allgaier is going to run the Daytona 500 in a junior motorsport car sponsored by Travelers Whiskey in the 40. This won't be Justin Allgaier's first race in Cup. He did try to run a full season, I think like 2015. But it'll be his first race in a while in Cup. And it'll be Junior Motorsports' debut in the Cup as well. A lot of people have been begging Dale Jr. to go to Cup. Go to Cup. You've got the equipment to do it. Why are you not doing it? And this is his first foray into it, so it'll be interesting how they perform.
The last time I actually saw something Junior Motorsports related in Cup was a NASCAR 2011 plug-in where you had Junior Motorsports cars in the Cup Series. You had Eric Almirola, you had Justin Allgaier, you had the 7 of Danica Patrick, so there was 2 7s. So, I mean, who else drove the 40? Who was the last person that drove the 40 car? Was it Spencer?
No, it was Sterling Marlin, probably. No. It was probably David Stremme.
Probably, yeah.
Way back, like 08, 09 time. So it's been a while for the 40 car. I think.
Back, baby! No, Junior, bring back all classic cars! Dale Jr. 8 cars back, too! Yeah!
Anyway. So that's that. That is all the driver changes, driver seats filled, sponsorship changes that have happened in the last few weeks, and it seems like that's going to be how it's set for the whole season now. Barring we got a couple more weeks till officially it's Daytona time, but I think that's how it's going to look. Couple other news though. We finally got some news on NASCAR 25, the new NASCAR game. I thought this game was down in the dumps, canceled, but nope. It's still going. They announced that you are going to be able to drive in the Cup Series, Xfinity Series, Trucks, and the ARCA Series, which is cool.
Literally dirt to Daytona. This is literally dirt to Daytona. In a way.
True.
Except, not the dirt series. The ARCA series. But...
True. Yeah, this will be fun to play. I'm very excited for this game to come out. I'm really, really excited. I hope it comes out this year. I hope we get some more news on it. It's going to be awesome. And I wanna get it so bad. So play it. Do so good. But we'll... At least we know we can... I want to drive with Arca brakes on Bowling Gray. That's what I want to do.
We should, when we both get it, we should do like a little live stream and just race each other. But one person goes straight, one person goes backwards.
See how high we can make the cars fly when we hit?
Well, not only that, to see if the person that's driving forward can make it out of the wreckage. With the wreck avoidance.
Ooh. It'd be like that scene from Cars when Lightning McQueen jumps over the other cars. God, it goes all mine. Here's last piece of news just came out today at the time of recording this. We got some really funny beef online between who else but Jimmy Johnson and Shaq. Oh my god, here we go.
Tell me more.
Oh god. Okay. So this whole Twitter thing. So Shaq called out Jimmy Johnson on Twitter. Because where the fuck else would this beef start? I can't find the original tweet.
I'm trying to get it up too.
Oh yeah, here we go. So Shaq tweeted, "Dang, at Jimmy Johnson, going for another Daytona? 20 years not enough for you?" Like, what the fuck? So then Jimmy Johnson responds with, here we go. So then Jimmy Johnson responds with, "You know it, at Shaq. I've still got the drive. What about you? How's that jump shot these days?" And then Shaq says, "Everyone knows I still got it, at Jimmy Johnson. Come find me on the court." So now, apparently they're going to do a jump shot challenge between Shaq and Jimmy Johnson. What the fuck? What the fuck?
What is our guy come to?
That was amazing. I think Jimmy Johnson's comeback was really funny, but let's be real here. Jimmy's just about as cooked as Shaq is on the court. Still a very funny banter, though. I'd love to see a Shaq Jimmy Johnson Lightning challenge or something. That would be really fun.
NASCAR, NBA, two champions. Fight it out.
Crossover of the century. And then Jimmy Johnson and Shaq have to race on the track as well. Then
Shaq was in a race car one time.
We all know that won't happen. But maybe it will.
Oh, Shaq was in a race car one time.
But anyways, that's all the news that I had. There's a lot of silly season stuff, but seems like we've got stuff sorted out for the season now as we enter the month of February and get going with some good stuff. I don't know, over this few week break, Gary, I don't know if you've had anything that you would like to share.
There's one, so in July, this coming up July, if you guys do live in the Michigan area, I would highly suggest going to Owasso Speedway. because Kevin Harvick and Keelan Harvick will be racing each other at Owasso Speedway. Let me tell you something. You would think that it was packed at the Eric Jones event. You won't be able to get in with the Kevin Harvick and Keelan Harvick race.
That is, my God, I didn't know that was happening. I want to go now. I want to go.
It's I'll have to look at it. I'll send you the picture, but they'll be racing. Is it a late model? I think it is. But then they have autograph signings that they do while they're doing heats, which I feel like a lot of people are just going to go for Kevin Harvick. Keelan.
I would.
Because he's the only, other driver that has Stuart Haas in his name.
I would go just for the autograph.
I would just go to watch the race. Because I don't like Kevin. Kevin Harvick. He eliminated my favorite driver.
True. Very true. Very true, actually.
Don't choke. He's choking.
Okay, we're good.
Are we?
Yeah. Alright, before we go, I do want to give my thoughts real quick on the new NASCAR game I got. So, over Christmas, I got a PS3 from my grandma because she just had it and didn't want it anymore, so she gave it to me. And shortly after that, I went to my local game store and was seeing what games they had in their PS3 section that I wanted to pick up. I knew of a couple, and one of them that caught my eye was NASCAR 14, which I picked up. And now I'm going to give my thoughts on it because very, 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 so good. Very cool. So good. So I got my notes. So, this game honestly reminded me a lot of... It had a lot of elements from NASCAR 2011 as well as NASCAR Inside Line, which I guess makes sense because they came out shortly before this game did. But I did like the trivia during the loading screens. During the loading screens, there's like trivia, and you can pick it, and it tracks your accuracy of how good you are at the trivia, which I thought was really cool. As far as the driver selection goes, really good driver selection in my opinion. There's no lower series. It's all just, I think, for what I could tell, it was just all Cup. But they moved some of the Xfinity drivers up to Cup and just gave them Cup cars, which was kind of cool to drive with. I also thought they had some pretty good paint scheme selection overall. A lot of the paint schemes were from 2013. So they kept the which didn't matter for most drivers, but for Jamie McMurray's car, because 2013 was the last year of the DEI #1 font. They moved over to a different font in 2014. But the 2013 schemes they had for Jamie McMurray, they kept the DEI 1 font, but for his primary scheme that you can race as, it was a 2014 car, so they kept it as the one that he ran in 2014. I don't know why they did that. It feels like a little bit too much extra work. Maybe it was easier to keep it that way. I don't know. But that was pretty interesting. I also have a comment on why the hell does Clint Boyer have a paint scheme with his name, but also as the replacement for the 5-Hour Energy paint scheme, but he also has the 5-Hour Energy one. Why would you... If the 5-Hour Energy paint scheme exists, why the hell are you going to race the other one?
I have an answer for that. That is because before it was just the Clint Boyer. Okay. When you got it, I'm assuming that they just like there was an update to it, and they just put the DLC because the Clint Boyer that had the 5-hour energy was a DLC. So I'm assuming the update was the DLC just got moved over to the actual game, and then you could just switch from either one.
I guess.
So I think they did the same thing with shoot, what was the other guy that had a car? Kurt Busch. They did the same thing with Kurt Busch, I believe.
Interesting. I also really like the little sprint ad that they put in the loading screens when you're about to go start a race, because sprint is defunct now, which is, I think that's really funny. As far as the racing controls go, they're a bit stiff in my opinion, but the overall drive pretty good. I think there's a very good wide range of race customization options, which is nice. It does really piss me off though, and this really pisses me off as somebody who has raced the same way in a NASCAR game ever since I was like 5, and you can't change your camera angle. I like the hood dash cam type camera angle, and you can't select it because it doesn't exist. Why the fuck would you remove that from this game? Why?
I don't know why.
Yeah, that really pissed me off. You couldn't change your camera angle. I mean, it was fine. It's fine, I guess. Just pissed me off. And, but it has similarities to Inside Line as well, because the career modes, to me, looked pretty similar. I don't know, the career mode's fine, I guess. It's nothing crazy. And, as far as it is, I mean, there's not a whole lot else to do outside of just, like, a quick race. You can run your career, but, that runs its course after a little while. And so, like, I mean, it's not the most expansive game. It doesn't do anything crazy. There's no, like, lightning challenges. There's no, none of that stuff. There's no real extra in-game stuff to buy. You get it all right up front. And so, which is good because you don't have, so they don't have an excuse to charge real money for it. But also, it doesn't add a lot of a replay factor onto the game, which is unfortunate. So, NASCAR 14, forgettable, except for the fact that it's the only NASCAR game I currently have on the PS3. So, I might play it more. I might not. I don't know.
Don't worry, you'll have another game soon.
But not a NASCAR game.
Not a
NASCAR game, so why does it matter in the relevancy of this podcast? I gotta make sure I have money for that. I don't think I have any money. I spent all my money on other stuff. Anyway, that's all the news that I had. I don't know if, Gary, if you played this game and you want to give some thoughts on it.
NASCAR 14, I liked it. It wasn't that bad. I gotta remember who was on the front cover again.
It's Tony Stewart.
Tony Stewart. So, okay. I remember when I first was told that I might wanted to get this. I was about to go to bed, and my dad came in the room, and he goes, "Hey Gary, look at this." I watch it, and it shows Tony Stewart as the front cover. Well, at that time, my two favorite drivers, Tony Stewart and Jeff Gordon. I get that for Christmas, right? I get NASCAR 14 for Christmas. Then they came out with Victory Edition. That one was Jeff Gordon. And let me tell you, I was so happy. I said, okay, I want another NASCAR 14 game, but with Jeff Gordon on the front cover. And what do you know? I believe it was NASCAR 14 that there was Jeff Gordon. No, it actually wasn't. Wait a minute. Which one am I talking about then? Am I talking about 16? Oh, God. Oh, no.
It's obvious that Garry is delusional and losing his mind, so we're gonna wrap things up from here. Garry can continue his story in the next episode. Anyway, that's gonna do it though for this episode. As my rating for the game, I give it a 6. I enjoy it. It's nothing crazy. But it's a NASCAR game, so I'm always going to like it at some base level. So, anyways, guys, that's going to do it for this episode. What a way to kick off season 4 of this podcast. It's going to be great for the Live, Laugh, Left podcast. There we go. Still going to take me a while to get used to it, but now that we're on a weekly basis, I think I will get it quicker and quicker as we go. Next episode, we will review the Clash, talk about everything that happened there, go over any other silly season news, and get ready for Speed Weeks as well, so things should be very interesting there. Anyways, though, it's going to do this video. Stay tuned for much more racing content from both me and maybe from Hitmaster. If he ever decides to do more, we'll see. And until next time, see you guys later. Goodbye.